The YouTube algorithm explained, and how you can trigger the algorithm to drive more views, gain more subscribers, and succeed on YouTube. You dig?
Brian G. Johnson.
Hey, it's me, Brian G. Welcome back. High five. If you're new to the channel and you want to drive more views, gain more subscribers, if you want to not just share your videos on YouTube, but amplify them, well, smash that subscribe button and let's get cracking. Why is it that some videos with great on-page video SEO, they struggle to rank at all? Case study example, video number 1. Now this video was published on June 3rd of 2016. Best practices. The video was optimized with one singular keyword phrase in mind. That keyword phrase was in the title, the description, as well as the YouTube tags. And yet the video struggles to drive even just 1 or 2, maybe 3 views a day. And yet channels that don't focus on-page video SEO, in other words, they don't focus or pay that much attention to the titles, the tags, they absolutely crush it. Video case study number 2, Lost LeBlanc. Now, Lost LeBlanc is a travel vlogger, and amazingly, his channel went from 6,500 subscribers to well over 195,000 subscribers in less than a 1-year period. Why? Boil it all down, and the YouTube algorithm rewards engagement. Now, does that mean you need to fly off to Bali, buy a bunch of fancy and expensive vlogging equipment in order to capture engagement and win on YouTube? That's certainly an option, but I've got a far easier method that's also a lot more cost effective. And it's how I've been able to take my channel from 0 subscribers in March of 2016 to well over 7,500 subscribers in less than 10 months. Now, what you're about to discover is not based on theories or ideas. This is information that I pieced together myself based on uploading well over 145 videos in that 10-month period. This stuff plain works. And even better, I'm going to share how you can resurrect old videos. This video that I shared with you, case study example number 1, is actually coming back. The views are increasing. I'm starting to show up in YouTube search for various keyword phrases, like here you can see how to get more views on YouTube algorithm number 1. Let's look at another one, how to get more views on YouTube 2017. This is going to be a huge search term, and let's take a look here. I have a number 1, number 2, and I'm about number 7 or 8. As I got started with my YouTube journey, I heard so much information, so much of what the algorithm measures, and I wondered what I should truly focus on. Was it the watch time that I kept hearing about? Was it views? Was it playlist strategies? Did I need to really focus on keywords and the tags? Or was it the video title? I continued to study, to ask questions, with the goal of prioritizing and simplifying so I could move forward and get those results. And when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, change is always happening on a constant basis. Now, in early October of 2016, there was a big to-do about changes to the YouTube algorithm. And really what happened was PewDiePie started talking about there was a change. And I had noticed this YouTube algorithm change myself. You see, I constantly monitor my search rankings, and they were gone. So many of the keywords that I ranked for, well, were no more, and I really freaked out. I remember I got with my buddy, Nick Nimmin.
High five!
And I asked him, hey, have you noticed anything? And he said, nope, everything seems fine. Sure enough, within a day, he gets back to me, wow, big changes. I've lost a lot of positions. And then about a day later, everything came back to normal. Now, what PewDiePie was talking about is really what I like to call super suggested videos. Well, there's really 2 types of suggested video traffic. There's when you're able to place a lot of your own videos on your current video watch page. So what you're looking at here is one of my video watch pages. You can see it says my channel name, Brian G. Johnson TV. And as you can see, most videos that are listed are my own. And this is really the first step and the easier step in dominating the suggested algorithm. However, once you're able to satisfy the algorithm and you publish a video that is promoted and pushed out, that video starts showing up on other people's video pages and you can drive a tremendous amount of views. What you're looking at now is a super suggested example. You can see my video is featured in the suggested videos, and in the last 28 days, this video has driven 859 views to my video, to my channel, which is awesome. And this leads us to the PewDiePie ripple effect. PewDiePie makes a video, talks about the algorithm is broken, the change to the YouTube algorithm. And millions of YouTubers watch the video and wonder, is this why I'm struggling to gain views? And the answer is probably not. And the reason why is before you're placed in a super suggested position. In other words, when your video is featured on someone else's video page, you've got to gain tremendous authority. So let's talk about how to do that. To really understand the YouTube algorithm and the changes that it's been through, we've got to dial the clock back to Friday, October 12th, 2012. On this date, YouTube announces that they've made some significant changes to the algorithm. And compared to what PewDiePie was talking about, this was like major changes. The blog post goes like this: we've made adjustments to the YouTube algorithm to reward engaging videos that keep viewers watching. Now, that statement is so very telling, and as we move forward, I'm going to prioritize the algorithm into three categories, three elements, three ranking elements that you can focus on to ensure as you're moving forward in 2017 and 2018, you're able to publish videos that rank. So YouTube is telling us, we've stepped away from the old algorithm, and at the time, the old algorithm really rewarded views. But that was very broken because you had all kinds of kids uploading thumbnails with boobs and butts, very misleading thumbnails, clickbait through the roof. And what happened was people would click, but they really wouldn't watch. And they didn't gain the value they were hoping. So YouTube moved forward and started changing the algorithm in order to truly reward videos that viewers deemed valuable. This is a big deal. Check this out. Two videos, both drive 100 views. Video A has an average view duration of 4 minutes. In other words, those 100 people all watch the video for 4 minutes, meaning the video has an accumulated watch time of 400 minutes. Now, video B has got a misleading thumbnail, and users click on it, 100 users, and they watch for 10 seconds and they leave. Now, if you take the 10 seconds multiplied by 100, you get 16 minutes of watch time. And here we can truly see how the changes that YouTube made to the algorithm back in 2012 really were for the better when they started focusing on watch time, because both videos have 100 views. However, video A has 400 minutes of watch time, while video B only has 16 minutes. Now, this kind of leads many YouTubers to think that this is why big channels have such an advantage. And you know what? They do. However, if it was only accumulated watch time, which is ranking factor number one, think of the algorithm, and one of the primary drivers is accumulated watch time. It's like the juice that allows us to rank for the keyword phrases we want to rank for. And this is what we're going to talk about as we continue to move forward, how to rank for specific keywords, even when we're competing against these huge channels that are able to accumulate so much watch time. And if YouTube only rewarded videos that had accumulated watch time, if that was the only metric, it would be impossible for new videos to rank and do well, and that would be disaster for YouTube. The last thing YouTube wants to do is shut the door on opportunity for new creators that are coming up with awesome content. So how do we move forward and how do we win? We focus on the two remaining critical factors. And here's what's awesome. These last two critical factors, the size of the channel has zero to do with the metrics that drive and trigger the algorithm. Factor number two is relevancy. I've talked about this to death. However, this is a very important distinction. It's not enough to know. It's not enough to watch these videos. You've really got to put these things into practice. You've got to implement them. And the fact of the matter is, so many channels, number one, they don't know about the keywords and how to place them. Number two, they kind of know, but they don't do it in a manner that's beneficial for their channel. In other words, they're targeting terms that are too competitive. B, they're targeting too many terms. That doesn't work. Here's how you do it. Now, how do we know that relevancy plays such a huge role on YouTube? Well, just simply access YouTube, the search bar, and right below the search bar, click on the filters tab. Now, this is something that most people don't do, but when you click on it, you'll see that the video results are sorted by relevancy. So next, we want to ask ourselves, what does relevancy really mean? Well, if we define it, it's the condition of being relevant, which leads us to the next question. What the heck is the definition of being relevant? And here's where it gets really good. The definition of being relevant is being closely connected. So now we have to ask ourselves, how does YouTube determine the connection between a search query, what somebody's searching for, and our video over here? YouTube identifies the connection by analyzing the metadata. Type into your video title, type into your YouTube tags. Do this and you will drive more views. Create an exact keyword connection between the search query in your video and you will win. Now, the best way to do this is to identify the target keyword phrase, the exact match phrase that you're going to target, and knowing that you're going to place that in your video title, that you're going to write tags around that one phrase. That's what you want to focus on. And when you know and you identify exactly what that phrase is, when you step in front of the camera, you can say that phrase within the first 15 seconds of your video. This is really a good thing for your video. And here's why. Number one, when people start watching, they're hearing the phrase they just typed in. Number two, YouTube is going to automatically create a transcript of your video, and then the words that you're speaking are in the transcript, and this can absolutely impact your video rankings for the better. So before you step in front of the camera, take the time to identify the keyword phrase, the exact match keyword phrase you're going to rank, and then you can mention that in your video as you're getting started. When you upload the video, you can add that exact keyword phrase to your title, and you've now created an exact match connection between the search term and between your metadata. That signifies YouTube, but there's more to it than just identifying the target keyword phrase. You see, YouTube is incredibly competitive. And you remember ranking factor number one? It's all about watch time. Well, if watch time is one of the primary drivers, and you just choose any old keyword phrase, you could put yourself in a situation where the videos in the top 10 results of YouTube are extremely competitive. And this is a mistake that so many people make. So one of the things you absolutely want to do is you want to look at different opportunities when it comes to the keyword phrases you target. Video case study number 3. Dude! Let's check out the search term, get YouTube views. Now, this is a phrase that Google has indexed more than 213 million videos for. Dude, not that keyword phrase. In other words, if you target get YouTube views, you're going to be competing against 213 million results that are being driven by YouTubers with huge subscriber bases, videos that have tremendous amounts of that accumulated watch time, and you're going to get your butt kicked. However, what about something like increase YouTube views? Get YouTube views? 213 million, that is. Or increase YouTube views less than 7 million. And wouldn't you know it, guess who's currently ranking number 3 or so on YouTube for the phrase increase YouTube views? Me, because I took the time not just to target an exact keyword phrase, but to identify the best keyword phrase, one that's going to be easier to rank for, so I can drive some views. And here's what's awesome. As we move forward, we're going to keep adding layers to this YouTube algorithm strategy. And then the views will compound, they'll grow. And I want to show you my analytics. Now, when I created this video, I uploaded and targeted the phrase, how to increase YouTube views. And if we look inside my YouTube analytics, you'll notice that I'm currently driving a pretty good amount of search traffic. And even more exciting is that the video is increasing in rankings. Why? Well, number one, it's gaining a lot of accumulated watch time. Number two, remember I mentioned that blog post from YouTube about, we reward videos that keep viewers watching longer? Well, it's got a long average view duration. We're going to talk about that more as we continue with our last final tip. So one of the things I do is I start out by adding an exact keyword phrase. And then later, if my video is driving views, I may add an additional keyword phrase maybe a month later. People always ask me, Brian, how long should I wait until I add more phrases? It's really not based on time. It's based on ranking factor number one, accumulated watch time. So if you publish a video and you target one keyword phrase, which I recommend, the video starts to rank and you're driving a handful of views a day, then maybe after, say, 2 or 3 weeks, again, your video is accumulating watch time, then you may want to add additional keyword phrases onto your video. And when we do look at my analytics, ranking for increase YouTube views, how to increase YouTube views, boost YouTube views, which, by the way, boost is a word that's related to increase, and it's very interesting. Now, if you've never heard of the term latent semantic indexing, or LSI, it simply means there's a correlation between words, and Google as well as YouTube understand this correlation. So there you have it. Number one is accumulated watch time. Number two is relevancy. Pay really close attention to the keyword phrases you're targeting. Don't get greedy. Don't try to rank for everything. Be very selective and leverage the power of that exact keyword connection. Now, here's where it gets really good. If you want to leverage the power of what I'm sharing with you, but if it seems all a bit overwhelming, I've actually partnered with TubeBuddy, and you can get my 12-step upload system integrated straight into YouTube. In other words, when you're uploading a video, my checklist will be highlighted and featured right inside the YouTube upload dashboard. Go ahead, click on the YouTube card now. You'll be able to download an ebook from me, my YouTube starter kit, the checklist, the free software, and lots more. YouTube card, check it out. YouTube ranking factor number 3, retention. Remember that blog post from October 2012? We've started adjusting the rankings of YouTube search to reward engaging videos that keep viewers watching. So we know it's not just about accumulated watch time, it's about how long individual viewers spend on your video. The longer they watch, the better. And this is again a case where it doesn't matter whether you've got 10 subscribers or 50 million, because if you publish an engaging video that viewers watch typically longer than other videos, you're going to rank, you're going to do well, especially if you follow the relevancy tip in ranking factor number 2, and you leverage that relevancy. And time again, I've seen the correlation between extremely high YouTube rankings right out of the gate within days, and that of very high relative audience retention, which is a measurement of how long people are watching. So if you access your YouTube analytics, you come in and you search for the video you want to study, then you access and click on average view duration, you'll see 2 tabs. One of them is absolute audience retention. This is the percentage of people that are continuing to watch your video as it plays. Next to absolute retention, you're going to see relative audience retention. Now, relative audience retention is what I focus on because it gives me an indication of just how engaging and how many people are continuing to watch as the video plays. Here's an example of where I published a video with extremely high retention, and sure enough, it ranks very high. In fact, it ranks #1 in YouTube for the chosen keyword phrase. And here's another example of a video that had above average relative audience retention, and it ranks really well and has driven thousands and thousands of views and has gained my channel subscribers. So as you're making your videos, you want to make them as engaging as possible. You want your audience to continue watching. How can you do that? Now, the good news is simply by identifying that target keyword phrase, that exact match keyword phrase. You're going to put that in your title. You're going to start your description off with that phrase, and then you can look at the keyword phrase. You can identify the most important words, and you can create a thumbnail all around that phrase. Then when you step in front of the camera, the first things out of your mouth can be that phrase. Notice when I started this video, I said this line. The YouTube algorithm explained, and how you can trigger the algorithm to drive more views and succeed on YouTube. And what I'm targeting is YouTube algorithm explained. It's an exact keyword phrase. It's reflected in my video title, in my description, and furthermore, I've crafted a beautiful thumbnail that stands out, that grabs attention, that's easy to understand, and it's focused all around this phrase, YouTube algorithm. And when you do this, when you start off your video with the phrase, when you design your thumbnail, what happens is a YouTube user searches YouTube for a keyword phrase. They then see your thumbnail and title that reflect this very thing. They click on the video result, and the first thing they hear is exactly what they're looking for. This is a great way to get your video started off with tremendous retention. Now, some other things you can do are really stick to the point. Get to the meat of the video as soon as possible, or be really engaging. Be willing to put yourself out there. Have fun. Be funny. Now, I'm pretty out there and I do some crazy stuff and I act pretty goofy, and it works for my industry. And don't think if you're an attorney or a lawyer that you've got to do that. Well, because it's measured relatively. In other words, if you're an attorney and you're optimizing for terms in your industry, your engagement will be measured against other videos that you're competing against in the search results. It's all relative. So if you want to drive more views, if you want to gain those subscribers, make sure you click on the beat to the G icon below. That's me. When you subscribe, you'll feed a poodle. I've got two, and they're hungry. I'll see you next time. Poof. Pixie dust.